Okay, we're convening right now at 6:43. I mean, no, excuse me, is that 43? 6:43, check? Okay, thank you very much. And what I'd like to do is we're going to have roll call. No.
I'll do roll call for you.
Yes.
Roberto Garcia.
Present.
Nathan Larson.
Yes.
Robert Foster Hoffman.
Yes.
Janet Barnes. Stephen Kim.
Here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Closed session.
Do you want to report out on first session?
Yeah, but there was no, oh, the Pledge of Allegiance, excuse me. The Pledge of Allegiance goes next, and Joe, please stand up, please.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to get a motion to adopt the agenda on our board.
So
There's a motion on the floor, Ms. Barnes, and
Second.
second also. Mr. Neal, yes. All those in favor? Aye. Any nays? Saying none. Okay. Okay. The report action taken in closed session, basically there was none taken. You just get some updates and that's about it. The other item would be the communications and presentations. We're going to skip that. Presentation.
I have a report.
Oh, yeah, not the report, yeah, and the organizations, excuse me. That's number 8. Yeah. Okay. Organizations, our fellow union members. For the record, I just want to have your name presented. Thank you very much, even though we know each other.
yeah, Carol Rodriguez, president of the CPC. Did I say it back? Okay, just wanted to let everyone know that teachers are working on report cards right now. And just so people also understand that working on report cards includes a lot of background work. We have to do expectancy sheets for all of our English language learners to really go through one by one each point of what they're learning. We got a change in the grading. It was announced about a month ago. District had sent out a survey to teachers asking for upper grade teachers if they wanted letter grades, and the majority of upper grade teachers said no, they didn't want letter grades. So we've been making that change, even though we wanted it. Still kind of adds another little wrinkle just because people started recording things in letter grades, and now we got to switch them to the rubric that exceeds expectations, meets, progressing towards, and needs improvement. So we're working through that. But report cards take quite a bit of time, and then of course we're all gearing up for our conferences that are starting tomorrow. One thing I'd like to talk about while I'm here is we have a grievance we think will be filed tomorrow. We're having some problems. We have so many new principals. They're trying to sort through our contract, which sometimes is not real clear. For whatever reason, the groups know that the district negotiating teams, our negotiating teams know what they're wanting to say. They know what they're trying to say as they do it. But then after the fact, a couple of years later, things don't look as clear, especially to people coming in. So we are having some difficulties with principals, just in that they're new and they're trying to sort through our contract. And so we're hoping that we can kind of work through those issues in an agreeable manner to honor our contract, but also to help everyone get on board with what needs to be happening. So that's my report.
Thank you, Ms. Rodriguez. Thank you very much. Who's next? CSEA? Not present. Substitute teachers? Not present. Okay. Okay, next item is the superintendent remarks, and you have it.
Yes, I would like to give a report since our last board meeting of some of the activities that I have participated on. During the week of October 12th through the 19th, I met with each principal for about an hour to an hour and a half to discuss their short-term goals, goals that they hope to accomplish, and I asked them to select one goal in English language arts and one goal in mathematics that they feel that they could accomplish by June 2016. I've also met with all of the candidates who were running for the open seats as Board of Trustees. I shared with them our organizational charts, our demographic information, some general budgets sheets, and 2 PowerPoints that look again at our goals. And I just want to acknowledge Frank Garden, who's in the audience, for coming and showing up and meeting with me, also for the election, and for your interest in the district in terms of running for a very important position. And I see that Mrs. Ish is out there, so we'll celebrate you on the next board meeting. So I was able to do that. That was really a great opportunity to meet the 7 candidates who were running and to share information with them. And I hope you found it useful. All of our schools participated in the Great Shakeout earthquake drill, as well as the district office. And on that same week, I had the privilege of having lunch with 100 mothers, leaders, who discussed how they might be able to share their stories of losing their children to gang violence with our parent community. And that was such a wonderful opportunity to really hear from the hearts of mothers who have turned their lives around and want to make a difference through a tragic loss of their families. On October 16th, I was interviewed by the Monterey County Educational Civil Grand Jury, and several of our administrators have followed and been asked to conduct interviews with this grand jury. And this is regarding our district services to English learners. If you have not read the report out for our county through Monterey County Office of Ed, there is a report around services to English learners, and this educational committee is collecting more information. Our administrators and myself also attended 2 leadership sessions on 21st century teaching and learning that was provided to us by Pivot Learning for a contract you approved actually a while back. We met with Pacific Grove, North Monterey County administrators, and a group of about 50 to 60 administrators, all in the same room sharing ideas and certainly listening to the learnings. And then we hosted the second session here in this boardroom, I think it was last week. Also met with SETC along with CSEA, but this is mostly about SETC to discuss negotiations. Met with Carol and Pamela Connor, and we were able to get some meeting dates set on our calendars. One of those dates has already occurred. November 3rd was our initial meeting, and I was able to address the group just for a short time, and I think they accomplished at least the meet and greet formalities of our negotiation teams. We're scheduled to meet again on December 15th. Not we, they are. The negotiation teams get to meet on December 15th. Also, I attended the Superintendent's Council put on by Monterey County Office of Ed on October 22nd. One of the interesting pieces that was shared at that meeting was the impact report to Monterey County, a lot of great information, and maybe you can, I'll certainly share that report with you once it becomes public. I think it's a great source of information. I hosted superintendents one voice meeting, which is an AXA group, putting together some legislative advocacy ideas around important issues in public education, and that took place on October 29th. My great part of my job is when I get to go out to schools. I was able to visit El Gavilan, Sherwood, Camen, Los Padres, Aberonda Meadows. I was there when they hosted their first farmers market, where kids actually get to go select. They have a little bag, they get money, kind of money chips, and they get to purchase their own fruit and learn a lot about nutritional value of food, and that was a great event. Last Thursday, I was treated to a wonderful musical experience put on by the Monterey Jazz Band, and that actually invited us to participate at Sherwood Hall. Several of our schools participated in that free event. And I got to see the students actually clapping and standing up and dancing to When the Saints Come Marching In, to the lively rhythms of jazz. And so it was quite a treat. Also on a different note, Cheryl Kemeny took me out to visit the homeless encampments. And on Thursdays they pass out food to over 400. They distribute bags of healthy snacks to families, poor families that can have healthy snacks for the weekend, and they had some bags left over, so she invited me to go out, and I think there were several other women there. I don't know what organizations they belong to, but there was 2 other women that joined us that also wanted to go out to the encampments. We went to 2 different encampments and were able to take and distribute some food out to those folks. Our main purpose of that is to identify any children who might be existing in this camp and offer them and let them know that we have a family resource center that can offer them support, especially in clothing, and certainly help the parents work through transitional housing. And let's see, it's a long report, isn't it? We had all of our administrators, and today on our consent agenda, we have some board policies, but I wanted to let you know that all of our administrators, to the tune of over 50, attended a 5-hour session on mandated board policy updates, which included the 2-hour session on sexual harassment. So those policies that you're seeing on our consent agenda have been reviewed and vetted through our administrators, some recommendations, identifying the key pieces that are extremely important to them as they do their daily work out at our sites. And then lastly, on Friday, I was able to attend a Harmony Home event, and followed by Bright Futures, which is a collaborative effort across Monterey County to provide input around academic and social emotional goals for our children throughout our county. And that was at SCUMB in late afternoon to the early evening. So that's my report.
Thank you very much. Are you open to some questions from the board members? Okay.
Give this opportunity to Ms. Barnes and to Mr. Larson. This will be their last board meeting to speak.
Before I read something that I wrote up, I would like to do my one last accolade for Brian Hayes. And the other day when I went to Monterey Park School to do Monterey County Reads, there was a little boy, I think his name was Fernando, and I was helping him read, and he was just doing this great job, and he was taking he was really figuring out how to do blends and all these things, and the week before, he wasn't there, so obviously developmentally ready, it clicked for him. So, and he said, wow, I really wish I could see the principal. I said, well, let's go do it. And so, and we're walking there, and he was so excited that he was going to see you. And I didn't call ahead of time, and Brian didn't know I was coming or anything. And he said, "I've never been to the principal for something bad. I hope I'm going to for something good." And I said, "Well, you are. You're going for something good." So we went in there and we kind of interrupted. And the little boy came in and he gave him a bracelet that said something like "World's Best Reader" or something to that degree. And I just can't describe the look on that young man's face. We're walking back and he's just so proud. And I mean, it really changed his life. And he kept looking at it and he said, I'm the world's best reader. Me, I'm the world's best reader. And I didn't go for a bad reason. So thank you for opening your door. Thank you for what you do. And all the principals. But that was just one story of the good things that are.
Thank you for the things that you do for our students.
Okay, here we go. First, I want to congratulate Amy Ish for winning a challenging campaign for trustee. I can't see you, Amy, but I saw you earlier today. So you're a fine lady with full of ideas, with great expertise, and the love for children. You'll be an important asset to this board. As for the election, all 4 candidates worked tirelessly desiring this position. I respect their efforts. 6 months has been a very long time to defend this position, but now it's over and the voters have spoken. It saddens me that only 11% of the registered voters actually cast their ballot. Hopefully in the future they will better understand the importance of school board elections. What an honor and privilege it has been to serve this community. Being able to be part of the policy-making decisions to improve and support the education of our children is the ultimate gift, and I'm proud to say we have accomplished a lot. Highlights include an open-door policy to visit each classroom in all 14 of our schools and to see the 9,000 plus students concentrating and learning from the 400 plus dedicated teachers who give their very best daily to ensure the children's success. I thank you. Seeing all the classified staff supporting the kids by feeding, enrolling, driving buses, maintaining the grounds and campuses, and the plethora of other duties, I thank you. And lastly, the incredible work ethic and endurance I see in all of the administrators. Seeing the endless hours ensuring the payroll is paid, curriculum is designed, books are chosen, workshops are developed, arranged, attended, books are chosen and ordered and delivered, guidelines are met, standards are implemented, after-school programs are successfully prepared, health standards are met, and personnel issues are resolved. I thank you. Unless you're on the inside and have the unique opportunity and perspective to see firsthand what it actually takes to run this remarkable organization, it's impossible to conceive what actually is being accomplished and the absolute commitment of everyone who makes this happen for the sake of our children's educational success. I applaud all of you, teachers, classified principals, district administrators, for this unprecedented chance to see how you have dedicated your lives to the well-being of our children. To the community, please move forward cohesively and collaboratively by working together peacefully, respectfully. The positive future of our district is dependent on the cooperation with all of us, with one another. Let's begin again. Together with our superior superintendent, Martha Martinez, Salinas City Elementary School District will rise to our great expectation, and our children's academic success will be the proof. Thank you for allowing me to experience this amazing journey to see the inner workings of this outstanding organization.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Larson, yeah.
I'm not one normally to call attention to myself, but I guess I would like to thanks to my mother and Carol Rodriguez for saying, you should do this. I remember driving up in my Triumph, seeing you too, and so that this job reminds me of my mom, and meeting Donna, that was in working with her and under her was a privilege that I'll cherish the rest of my life. As we all strive, I guess, to do a civic duty, normally teachers, I find, just like my mom did, but when they retire, they still want to be involved. And as Ms. Barnes, she also goes in and teaches and helps, or you become a board and try to give a perspective. Oh, Mr. Hoffman, thank you. For teachers serving on school boards, I think that's a honorable thing. But I did it while I'm still working, so that was something different, I guess. I'm basically, I would like to say thank you to everyone I've met. Now I'm drawing a blank. Lydia, Pat Willingham, Dr. Luza. All these, it's interesting because I was also a student here, and so a lot of these people have been here and then they see me and I think I made them feel aged rather than so they go, God, you were, well, let's not go there. But I think as I leave, we're back to being with our Mrs. Martinez, a great leader with a great vision, and I believe our district is in good hands, that we can actually strive to be the best district in our county, and Monterey County, San Benito County, Santa Cruz County. I believe people want to come here, not only teach, but they want to come here to have their kids educated, because we're the best. And so, thank you to everyone.
Thank you. Very good. These are good moments. At the same time, a lot of hard work before us, and a lot of hard work is behind us. We learn from our mistakes as well as we learn from our vision. And being a board member, I'm trying to underscore what these two young people, because they are younger than I am, these two young people are committing themselves not only as volunteers but also as leaders in the community. And I want to thank both of you on behalf of the board and the administration, the teachers, and classified employees, and the friends that you have here in the district also recognize you, and some of them in the audience. Okay, thank you again, both of you. Thank you. Okay, next item.
One last point, Phil.
Individuals who may be interested in addressing the board, we're here to listen, we're here to concern, and items that are not on the agenda. Thank you very much. Is anybody in the audience? Members? Yes, sir. For the record, just your name, please.
Sure. Frank Garden, father of 6, Mission Park School. Is this on? Great. I'll be very brief. I also wanted to thank Mrs. Martinez for the meeting on October 22nd to brief the Area 4 candidates on the current status of the district. I already thanked you, but I thought for the benefit of folks here that I would thank you publicly. And one of the things that I was taken aback by was your openness to transparency. And you remember what I said at the end of the meeting? That I don't know any other way. So that's really refreshing. And what it tells me is that I think our community was very pivotal in bringing this here to SCESD. And I think our involvement it was necessary and gratifying to have that meeting. So I learned a lot about the district in that meeting. Also, too, in terms of the policies, that's not on consent, though, is it? That's actually going to be talked about in the open session.
You can give your comment during the consent, during the consent.
I don't see it on the consent. I see it under action items.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. It's on
Okay, I
action.
just wanted to make sure. That's all. Thank you.
It's on action, I'm sorry, yes, you're right.
Thank you very much. Okay, consent items on the agenda is next. And the first one is the regular board minutes on October 12th this year.
Can I pull that for discussion?
We can pull that and give us your information.
Right now?
We have it on the agenda.
Okay, so Frank Arden again. It's basically just a point of order. I was reviewing the minutes. The last item that we discussed on October 12th, the last item on the agenda had to do with the request for proposals for legal services. The way it's written in your minutes isn't exactly accurate. There was a Brown Act violation. It's not reflected in the minutes. A motion was made, it was seconded by Ms. Barnes. And then it says before the vote was taken, comments and concerns were made by Frank Arden and Cynthia Schaefer. The motion actually passed. I actually stood up here and asked if my comments would make a difference. You said no. But Mr. Kim corrected the Brown Act violation. So that's not reflected in these minutes, so I thought I'd put it in the minutes of this meeting, just to make sure the record's clear. So
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Motion,
Go ahead.
motion to approve consent items with correction of board minutes addressed by Mr. Garden.
Yeah, there's a motion on the floor. There's a second on the floor. Any discussion on the issue? The item? Say none. All those in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you very much. Next item will be curriculum. We have the curriculum. This is item 2014-15, excuse me, 15-16. Single plan for student achievement for Ronda, Dual Emerging Academy, and Lincoln, and then Monterey Park. Okay, that's information.
I'd also like to remind principals to limit your presentations to 5 minutes, please, and then 2 minutes for questions and answers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, board members and superintendent Martinez. Can you hear? Okay, it's weird. There we go. Okay. I'm Mary Pritchard, and I'm acting as the principal at Dual Immersion Academy Salinas. You might know it as Veranda Language Academy, or many other names, but the name came about from in the middle of all the quick, busy opening in the months right before, the month or so right before, some parents getting together and thinking it was important that the name Dual Immersion was in it, but then also wanting to focus it as part of Salinas and not another area. So they came up with Dual Immersion Academy Salinas at Veranda. So we're the Pumas, and what's recognized at our school is that we are preparing our children to experience as beyond their horizons of their neighborhood and for the world. So as Mr. Larison said, he would like the district to be the best in the county, and then he expanded to go beyond the county. It's the same thing. We're hoping our students look beyond their immediate surroundings and to the window of opportunity that exists in the world. Our mission statement definitely has the word linguistic, academically and socially, preparing students to contribute and thrive in an ever-changing world. We want to prepare our students to exhibit compassion and tolerance in a global community, cultivate wonder and inspire confident learners and leaders. And we also want to prepare our students to view themselves as continually works in progress, so that it's okay to make mistakes and keep on growing and learning and evolving, but to strive after their dreams. Our school, there are 76 transitional kindergarten through kindergarten students attending the school. There are also some preschool programs. The demographics here are our pre-CBEDS demographics that thank you, our SIS department, for providing this data. We have 29 transitional kinders, 47 kindergartners. 51% of our students are English learners. The other remaining 49% or 7% of those students are IFAP, initially fluent English proficient students. And you see our demographics there. These are pre-CBED, so I'm not sure if the data might change a bit after the official. I'm not sure on the socioeconomically disadvantaged how accurate that was at the time of the data. Our 3 goals, our goal 1 is academics, and our 3 goals mirror the district's LCAP goals. We have a school-wide transitional kinder and kinder 90-10 dual immersion model. We do ensure that all content areas are being taught with the recommended minutes throughout the day. It's a small school, there are 3 teachers, so they're working together, shifting time because they also serve as unique linguistic models for various groups of students. So they may be teaching Spanish for one group and English for another group in different times of the day. We do have, the district has allocated 2 hours of instructional aid time to the school to support our students. So they use that time to target the different areas of need. We will be moving forward and having Imagine Learning in Espanol for all of our students at Dual Immersion Academy Salinas. And really what we're focusing on is, we have a very small budget, so we're using and maximizing the time and the resources we have to provide collaboration time and additional support for our students when needed. So we're really looking at how we maximize the activities we do to make sure we're freeing up time for our teachers to work together. We do have an AM and a PM kinder, so sometimes that logistically becomes a bit difficult for us. Parent-teacher conferences, our schedules don't change, so we stay AM and PM, so we have people meeting in the morning and meeting in the afternoon. And we are just in the beginning stages of a student success team and really defining the RTI process and the supports that we can provide the students. Goal 2, school climate and culture. I didn't put a lot of words here because we're planting seeds. There is nothing to build off of, it's all brand new. I mean, we have a building that had some maps that we found in different things, but it really is a moment to plant the seeds to grow a school community. So we are trying to focus on creating a sense of belonging where children and families feel safe, welcome, and included. Everybody's doing everything at one time. Some people say, we only have this many students. Well, we also only have this many staff, so if one person's gone, if the secretary needs to leave, there is nobody else in that office. Sometimes the other day we thought, how do we have an interview? We all have to be on the panel for something and get the custodian to answer the phone. So there is the secretary, the custodian, and myself, and then our teachers who were there with the students. So it does sometimes, just logistically, we all pitch in and do everything. And this year, we're not going full PBIS, we're having familiarity with PBIS. We also will begin as soon as we're able to get the training scheduled along with the district dates for restorative justice for our staff. And we're also looking in terms of our school culture and climate, we're looking at how our physical space and design impacts learning. So we have a library, which we're looking at what do we want that space to look like as it moves forward in learning. Is it a traditional library? Is it a learning space that can take on many different shapes? So there's a lot of discussion about the physical being of the campus in terms of how it shapes the climate and culture. And then goal 3, parent and community involvement. We do have a school site council. Our PTO as well just got their officers and president, vice president, and everything in place, our ELAC. And we had a really successful back to school night, which we learned very quickly that even a small campus can outgrow itself in parking very quickly. And we'd have to do some logistics differently. We had a nice Halloween parade and brought lots of parents out. We also are looking forward to beginning some family nights focusing on engineering, arts, technology, and science, all of course while integrating literacy and numeracy. And then our PTO is meeting next week, our school state council tomorrow, PTO again next week, and they're really looking at taking maybe a seasonal approach to some events, having a big winter solstice event, and then going through and doing something in the spring and looking at what is more of a community building moment versus a fundraising moment and how we can really come together as a community to all get to know each other. Again, sometimes with the AM, PM, there's the morning people know the morning people and the afternoon people are just shifting, switching out. when they go. So we do, I didn't leave out, but it was not the focus of this presentation. We do have two special education preschool classrooms as well as another preschool classroom. So
Thank you.
I'm open for questions.
Thank you.
You have board member have any questions at all? Any questions?
How about a comment? Not a question? No, I'd like
Go
to
for it.
see a little Veranda School. We've not changed the name, have we? Still Veranda School?
CDS code is Barondale.
Yeah, oh, right, okay. In every neighborhood. I just got back from Europe, I was gone for a month or so. And every neighborhood that I visited had a small school that had K1, 2. They all learned a second and a third language. So I think I'd like to push us towards that kind of a model for everybody, for every neighborhood in Salinas, if we can afford it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right?
Good.
So
Ms.
Lincoln
Barnes?
Elementary.
Yeah, thank you.
What do you project next year as far as the incoming to? It's pretty nice to have 72 children as a principal. What do you expect it to be next year? I mean, what kind of entrance kinder?
I think two more additional kinder classes as the two kinders move up and maintaining the transitional kinder. We're still working with the numbers, but we wouldn't, it's a very large campus, but there aren't a lot of rooms. There are a lot of rooms, but there aren't a lot of rooms. There's some interesting shaped rooms that are not class
So
rooms.
probably double.
So yeah, when you go forward, you really probably could sustain over time 2 to maybe 2.5. I don't like halves, but so we don't want to go halves, but 2, 3 is pushing it when it gets to be at its peak if it was to be a K-6 school.
Any other questions? No? Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, the next item is Lincoln Elementary School.
This is on a credits.
And SPSA. Go ahead. Go for it.
Good evening, Board President, good evening, board members, good evening, Ms. Martinez. So this is our Lincoln Elementary School say for this year. I'm Ana Cuevas, and I'm the school principal. So let's get started. These are our school demographics. Currently, well, as of 2 weeks ago, we have 631 students. As you can see, 44.6 are socioeconomically disadvantaged, 25.3 English language learners, and 7.8 students with disabilities. If you look on the left side, you can see our ethnicity or our groups by ethnicity, and then on the right-hand side, you can see our school has 2 programs. We have a dual immersion as well as an SEI, and then you can see the groups following that. This is our focus at our school. Again, we have our dual immersion program. We have instructional assistants that are supporting our teachers, especially with those students that need intervention. This year we have our leadership team, and that's a group of teachers that are representing every grade level, and they communicate with the teachers, they communicate with me, so we can get everyone on board. We are lucky to have our educational coach, Mrs. Maria Ayrada, and she is with us 50% of her time, which means every other week we share her with another school. At our school, we have from our Children's Behavioral Health Services, we have a counselor that's there with us 2 days a week, in addition to another counselor with Sticks and Stones for another 2 days a week. We have our DI and SEI collaboration meetings to ensure that our teachers are communicating and we're on the same page with student achievement. In addition to that, we have before school, at the present time, we have technology access, of course, Imagine Learning and Espanol. And then we're working on getting programs after school, especially for those students that need interventions. In addition to learning, we have fun, we have music during school. Every other Wednesday, we have open music so our teachers can bring our students. And we also have after school music as well on Wednesdays. Our school culture and climate, fun. We have at the upper left, we have our Lincoln's Healthy Kids Club. And this is an organization that has truly does what I believe is important for our children, which is to ensure that they put healthy things into their bodies and teaching them ways that they can carry on when we meet Lincoln. The next pictures below that, we had our spaghetti dinner, and this, as you can see, our parents and community members working very hard to raise funds so that our students could attend the science camp, and they did, and students were able to participate as well. They were serving dinner, so that was fun. If you look at the bottom, I think a week or 2 weeks ago, we had our Red Ribbon Week, and the goal was to get every student to pledge. As you can see, we get them in paint, and they pledged on this humongous paper of staying drug-free and only doing healthy things, making it real for them. If we go into the right side, we have at the top our school garden. We have a beautiful garden and a group of dedicated parents that keep it going, and we had our salsa event where the students got to learn what it entails to plant, to harvest, to clean, chop, and essentially make salsa and eat it. So that was a fun event. All our teachers and students participated. Our Just Run is an organization that's helping us support our teachers to ensure that our students have their 100 minutes of PE each week and having fun doing it as well. We have our peer mediators. These are our leaders, our student leaders in the upper grades to get them to help each other. If you look at the bottom, I mentioned before Sticks and Stones is our counselor, and she went to each and every classroom to teach students about bullying and not to be bullied and what happens, and it's a very good thing. And then we had, I think that was a little bit old, it was our very first recognition assembly for our students, and you can see some proud teachers with their students. And then every week I put out a weekly news so that we keep communication open, not only with our teachers, students, but also our community members, administration. And at our school, as I said before, we have a dual immersion program as well as an SEI program. So we have, I always, to keep connection with our parents, we have coffee with the principal in English, and then at a different day, cafecito con la directora in Spanish, and I get to hear the needs and requests and comments and hopefully some praises from the parents when we have those events. At the last cafecito con la directora, our parents really requested to have workshops that could help them on how to better raise their children, how to support them so that they can do well in school. We've already had our first workshop, which was nutrition and health. We had nutritionists from our county come and teach our parents about nutrition, about healthy ways of eating, and they got to also do some food demonstration, and we got to taste, and it was fun this week, and everyone is welcome to come. This presentation, this workshop for parents will be titled Resources from School, District, and Community for our parents, because in order for our students to be successful, we need to make sure that our parents are doing everything they can at home and keeping the connection with the school. Together we can do it, right? And then this is our school mission. Lincoln School is dedicated to the success of all students, both academically and emotionally, so that they are prepared for the challenges ahead. Our goal is to encourage students to be college and career ready. And that's it. Any questions or comments?
I have some board members here with, excuse me, questions. Any questions or comments on that presentation? I want to thank you very much. This is the second time we've met, okay? So you're following what you told me the first day I met you at school, and that was the day of open house or family day. And you're moving in the right direction, and of course you have board members supporting you too.
Thank you very much.
And your administration too. Thank you.
Yes, they do support me. Thank you.
Monterey Park School, we have the master teacher or principal right here before us right now. Your name, please, for the record.
Good evening, Mr. President, Board, and Cabinet. I'm Brian Case, Principal at Monterey Park School, and it's my pleasure to present our single plan for student achievement. I put our URL for our webpage down at the bottom. We are very proud of our webpage, and it is a great way to announce events at our school and also to provide pieces of education and information for our parents as well. So please feel free to take a look at that. Our school is made up of a diverse community of students. 88% are Hispanic, of which 47% are English language learners. And it's just not Spanish at our school that is the primary language. We also have Arabic, Vietnamese, Korean, and Japanese. Of those students, 79% are socially, economically disadvantaged, and 12% of our students are in special education. Our school plan is aligned to the 3 district goals in academic achievement, culture and climate, and parent and community involvement. And those 3 areas together are really what we're working towards at Monterey Park School. We do believe, when it comes to Goal 1, academic achievement, that a strong core instruction by our classroom teacher is really our primary means of teaching our children. This year at Monterey Park School, we are really looking at what are the skills and strategies of a 21st century learning environment, and we're working on developing those skills, the collaboration, the critical thinking, creative thinking, and so forth. For those students that are still needing some extra support, in addition to the district-provided interventions, we do provide instructional aids, which are supporting our teachers and our district-provided aids in providing interventions such as phonics for reading and an individual learning folder. We also have partner teachers for our kindergarten class, and we are also using a new program this year called MobiMax, and it's an adaptive program. It's available to all of our students at school and at home, and it allows them to work in all the different areas, content areas. We've also rolled out Imagine Learning for all of our students in K-2 to really develop some strong foundational skills. For the students that are needing a little bit more support, we also have Read 180 in 5th grade, which is a comprehension-based program. It's kind of the program that follows System 44. And we also support System 44 by providing a half-day teacher, a student resource teacher. And our TK teacher is reaching out to our other classrooms and also assisting with some pull-out interventions. After school, we are also working with students in math and reading. We have a small group that works in the morning for those that can't stay after school, and they are working on their math as well. And we will be starting our GATE program shortly, and we're really going to focus on those, what we call the STEAM areas, which is science, technology, engineering, architecture, and mathematics. Culture and climate at Monterey Park. We really do believe that our school should be a positive place. The kids should want to be there. It needs to be a place where they want to go every day to learn. And our PBIS program is a big part of that. The students are earning Golden Eagle tickets, and as Josh Kane, one of our BCBAs, often says, is let it rain Golden Eagle tickets. And so we try to do that often to award our students. We do have a superstore. We've changed the name to Eagle Mart, where they can go every other week and purchase things. We just started a new initiative called Superintendent's Heroes. So you can see here in the picture, myself and my vice principal, Mr. Marinelli, with some students. We're challenging the children to come to school every day and on time, and then they can become a superintendent's hero, and they can earn a little tag that they keep on their backpack. And right now, they're really excited about it. We are still developing our athletics program. We had a wonderful program last year, and we're kind of having to rebuild that because our parents moved on to the middle school. But Mr. Marinelli's been working really